Oh,
Hello, how's it going?
really
Just
good.
want to say thank you for taking time and coming on
Thank
the
you.
show. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for doing it.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, the first thing I wanted to ask you is what inspired you to want to make this film?
Well, this film, because I think making the first film, Wrecking Crew, which is a
Hmm.
story about the '60s session players, um, coming off of that after 19 years in the making, I think it was a little shell shock. But then someone approached me with this idea, and I went, "Well, this is actually makes a lot of sense because it comes off the heels of the Wrecking Crew." Tapestry is Lou Adler, who's one of the big producers of the '60s. It was his biggest hit, and that's 1971, 72. So that's when all these guys start in the business. So kind of like it all made sense.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you got like so many great rock stars on
Yeah.
this film, anywhere between James Taylor to Stevie Nicks. Like, how did you get so many of
I
these stars? Like,
It was I wish I could say it was, "Oh, they couldn't wait to work for me," but it wasn't anything like that. It was basically, I mean, these guys have such love from the artist that all someone had to do is make a phone call. If they didn't make it, most likely they did make it, and it was instant. "Yes, when do you need it?" Carole King, they called her on the day, I think the band said yes to me. They called her the next day. I get a call that said she can be here. She's going to be here in 3 weeks. You got an interview, and I wasn't even ready. I
oh
was
my
thinking, oh
God.
my god, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm my research. I better get to it. So I quickly and within 2 months, I had Linda Ronstadt, James Taylor, Jackson Brown, Lou Adler, Phil Collins, Carole
Oh my.
King, um, and more and more. So, I mean, it was Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, it was just so quick. Everybody said yes, 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 yes. And it's because they love these guys.
Wow, that's really amazing because when you look at all of these people, like
Yeah,
they're huge names, and I mean I'm a huge fan of Stevie Nicks. She's like
right.
my all time favorite, and I was like, wow, Stevie Nicks is on this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She
Is
loves Waddy. I mean, it's funny because her relationship with Waddy goes back to, the first album that she did,
oh,
and
okay.
so he was, and then he's always been with her as her MD when she went solo. So
Oh,
that's what he's constantly his music. He is her musical director.
oh,
So
wow. That
yeah,
that's that that's really
so
awesome to know.
they're like a marriage on the road. They're best of friends.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And is there anyone that you wanted to be on the film that you didn't get a chance to reach out to them,
Um,
or they
yeah,
were
there's a
busy?
couple people because COVID hit. COVID hit, so there were
Oh,
people. It was difficult because we ended up doing Zoom on a few. We did Zoom with Keith Richards and Zoom with Neil Young and Stevie Nicks,
yeah.
but almost everybody was in the can before then. And then when COVID kind of went down a little, we slowly went out and, I got David Crosby and Don Henley. I mean, Warren Zevon was already gone. He would have been
Yeah.
great, you know, or, we'd love to have gotten Dolly Parton. She has such respect for these guys, but, it's hard because there were people that didn't make the cut. John
Okay.
Oates. I mean, unfortunately, and I have Clint Black I interviewed, but things just get cut in when you put things together.
Oh yeah, because you have to fit everything in one film, and you got
Yeah.
all this stuff that you taped, and a lot of it goes on the cutting room floor, right?
How's that for hanging up on
It's
that guy?
all good.
I'm sure
It's,
it's if they call
yeah,
back, it's important. How's that? That's my motto. Call back if you think it's important.
right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that happens in every film though, right? Like a lot of stuff gets
Oh
put
yeah.
in the cutting room floor. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first film, A Wrecking Crew, it took 19 years to make, so I never
Mhm.
stopped interviewing people, even though I knew I wasn't going to put it in the film sometimes. I just wanted to record history because I was in the stuff that I'm dealing with folks that are, we're all elderly at this point.
Yeah.
Let's say elderly 60s and plus, and I say, and I'm elderly at that. So I can say elderly at 63 now. But I gotta think about, you know, I want to make sure I get someone in the can.
Mhm.
I mean, I want to sure that their family has their recorded history. If it's not for my film, just for them sometimes,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, I know, I love it.
Oh, wow. And what from making the film, like, was there any stories that you learned from anyone that you didn't know?
Oh, all the time. I mean, all the time. That was the other thing is because it went so fast, it wasn't like, oh, I gotta know the story. Even if I think I know the story, every interview, I'm going, oh wow, I didn't know that. So being so fast, this film started, I was learning on the job and trying to connect the dots as we went. I understand, there's a thing before I start, I know what musicians are like growing up with the music. My dad was a musician, so I understand what they're coming from. And
Okay.
then learning about the music again, relearning, listening to albums. I right above me, I have hundreds of albums that I started pulling out again. And that was fun. And then there's outtakes
Oh,
that just don't make it, which are really fun.
nice, nice. And I know you're on a press day, so I'll ask like one
Yeah, sure.
final question.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of songs from that era do you like most?
Oh, I think it's funny because there were there are things I thought I didn't like in the era, and I've become to love now. It wasn't my music at the time because I was into something else in 1976, maybe. But I mean, some
Hmm.
of the albums that I still love was like Sweet Baby James and Carole King's
God,
Tapestry.
yeah.
You know, um, the band themselves, they had this group called in the 70s called the Section, and I didn't know anything about this section. It's still too. I'm maybe 13 at the time, and it's kind of like rock fusion, and I just love that. And I didn't realize that was they did that, and I was really digging on that. So I've been able to go back and listen to all kinds of albums, and then there's albums that you look like, God, I need a song here. I don't know what to find. You always, I'm always looking for a song from one of the artists. I don't ever want to find something else. It's got to be,
Yeah.
and also I'll find the eighth song on CSNY album, or and go, whoa, all right, that works perfectly here. Didn't know it. No one, most people probably didn't know it because it's the eighth song on an album, you know, and those are the gems I love. Being able to find those.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
And where could fans follow you and follow the film at?
Well, it's the film comes out on the 12th in theaters around the country, and then it goes straight to video on demand. So if you just go to our website, which is that's the old film, immediatefamilyfilm.com. That's immediatefamilyfilm.com or immediate family film at Facebook and Instagram. If you don't put film on the end of immediate family, you end up getting a therapist. So you can't go wrong. So
Well,
if
I,
you need a
I I mean,
family therapist,
there's
that's fine. You'll have it.
yeah, there's some people that need that too, you know.
Right. Need both. Mhm.
well, well, thanks so much for taking time and doing this. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Rod. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Have